So this is what my screen usually looks like when I work on this. It is very crammed, I know, but this is how it is. So the outlining process. It seems very complicated. It really is not. It does not take that long at all. Let's choose a random building to work with. So I'm going to go, let's go to the inn that's over here. So I'm going to go down to Fayetteville. The way this works, I have, first of all, zoom back out. I have these different reference points scattered all around Google Earth Pro. So Bentonville has quite a bit of it. Pretty much what a reference point is for the outlining tool. It is a point where I'll measure from on the map, and then I also have them in the game. So the point for U of A, let's go down here, point UArk, is a circular path right in front of Old Main right here. So anybody that walks past this point to get, I don't know, to this parking lot or over to Dixon, anyone that walks past this, you guys have bragging rights because you're literally walking past the reference point of NWA In Minecraft for U of A. So, just saying. Yeah, this is the reference point right here for all of Fayetteville at the moment. Pretty much all I do, I'm going to center my measure tool as best as I can, and I'm going to measure with the ruler tool from that to wherever I need to go. So we're going to be working with the inn at Carnal. I'm probably pronouncing that very wrong, but pretty much what I do, every corner of the building, every cap of the roof right here, you see these ridges right here, everything is measured. So I'm just going to measure for now right at this corner of the building. And I have this other tool on the right side of my screen. It's called Zach's outlining tool. What this does is it takes in the values from Google Earth Pro in meters, and it macros a command to plot the point for me using what's called MD Point Locator. That's the plugin I use to plot one-to-one. So I'm going to set connect points no. It's my first point. It's the first corner of the building. And I'm going to create point. All right. I had that set wrong. I need to set the name. UArk. Okay. Nothing is here because I forgot to set the height. The way the height works is the most annoying process ever. There's probably better ways to do this, but this is how I do it. So on the bottom right of my screen on Google Earth, there's an elevation meter. So right now I'm hovering over the grass. Like I'm going to stop right here. So you can see LEV, 1,421 feet. So I'm going to hover my mouse over this corner of the building right here. So that jumps me up to 1,456 feet. All right, this is the stupid part. So I'm going to subtract 1,000 from this. So it's just going to be 456. So let's calculate 456. Now, since it's in feet, Minecraft is in metric system. So every block in the game is 1 meter cubed. So 1 by 1 by 1 meter. I'm going to take that and convert it into metric. So 456 feet times 0.3048. Enter. So 138.9 is going to be my Y value, or just 138. So I'm going to set the Y value of the point to 138. All right. Now I'm going to replot that. There it is right there. It just popped in. You saw that? Let's do it again. Boom. All right. So that's the point. And really, you just repeat this process for the entire thing. Anything that's at the same height, you don't have to recalculate the elevation. If I were to go up to here, then I need to calculate like 468 times 0.048 again. Just any change in height, that's when you need to do that. But I'm just going to outline this entire like part of the roof right here. This little square part. Okay, so you may have noticed when I did the calculation, 0.9. Anytime the point is, or the calculated Y value in meters is over 0.5 or equal or over than 0.5, So let's just say, I don't know, like 1.5 is my y value. That means it's on a slab. Any 0.5 just means it's on a slab. So I'm going to take a pale oak, match the white or something, and just make it a slab since it's over 0.5. I don't usually build over like this. Usually what I like to do, if it's like that, I will set the Y value to 1 above this, so it would be at 139, and then set the material of the outline to a slab, so I can just outline like only these instead. So actually, I'm going to do that really quick, because that's a lot easier. Point set Y, I'm going to do it 139. I'm going to set the material to... I don't think they have pale wood in here yet, so let's just do quartz slab. So let's see, is this side at the same? Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna replot this side over here, but here it is. Now, another thing you may be noticing, or maybe not, I don't know. Look, this little angle right here. Why is it doing that? If you see on Google Earth, this building is unfortunately at a very strange, like 1 degree angle or half-degree angle, whatever this may be. Um, Pretty much everything is like that. Peabody Hall is like that. Old Main, okay. These 4 buildings right here, Mullins, Union, Volwalker, all of these are perfectly straight, which is a miracle. You don't usually get that. But pretty much everything, like the ROTC building, you can see right there, slight angle. Education building, slight angle. Everything is going to be at an angle, which is why you get these weird things. It's just the unfortunate outcome. It looks kind of jank sometimes, but this is just what I have to deal with. Um, yeah, you see that all over the project. For everything that's like at a 45-degree angle, like the Walton Arts Center, that's just, it's going to be like that. There's not going to be a single straight part of this project. So that's the reason why you see stuff like this. Yeah, that's the outlining process. Um, it would take me a little bit to get the rest of this building. This is a pretty complicated building to outline. But I mean, I would like, let's just do the caps of these roofs real quick. So 468 calc 468 times 0.048 point set y 143. I'm gonna plot that one really quick. It's still on a slab, by the way, so I'd keep a slab. So that is awful. I do not like working with the angles like that. Now, for these roofs, I'm just going to connect these two. So quartz slab, line, quartz slab. So now I have the outline of the roof. Let me just really quickly just smooth this out so you can actually see what I usually see when I do this. This is a weird one. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that. But this is the outline I have for this part. Obviously, there's some fixing up I can do. I mean, you can see on the building you have these little, like, the roof doesn't go at its steepest incline yet. Like, there's about a meter before it gets steeper. So that's one thing I need to fix. But for the most part, this is what I usually see in an outline. And you can see it, I mean, everywhere else. Like that one. That's a perfect example. So I would just build off of that. That outline, finished outline, and the end result usually should be good. Maybe not of insane quality like the Cord or Old Main, but I usually try and make sure attention to detail is at point and it just looks like the real thing. So I just build off of this. If I have to, sometimes I'll switch off this like top-down view I have into 3D. If a building has like a bunch of windows, so let's just say JB Hunt was a weird deal with the windows. So every window in JB Hunt is measured, believe it or not. All of these are in accurate placement for the most part. So I just, same thing, I would just measure from the reference point. This is not the reference point, but just pretend. I'm going to measure against this wall right here. So this window right here, this bottom one, I'm at the right building. This guy right here is measured. I just hover over the window, boom. I'll repeat the command, create point. and it's going to put the point right here. The elevation tool also works when you hover over the side of a building, which is very useful. So this window height, like the bottom of this window, is at like 450 feet. So 450 times 0.048, 137. So let's see. Uh, Technically, it's supposed to be down here. I think there are some exceptions I make, like it didn't match with the height of this. The window would be down here. That is not right because this andesite thing is right here. So I moved it up. There are some exceptions I make in the builds. Um, but I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the outlining process. There are other aspects of it, like the 3D modeling that I do. I use a program called Blockbench to model these, like my bike right here. That was all modeled in Blockbench. For some, most, not most, for some models like this, vehicles mostly, I overlay like a drawing over the model and then work off of that drawing. This is for the most part accurately scaled. It it's slightly bigger than what it should be. I believe in reality, like was 80 inches. That's 616. Times 0.048. So this bike should be like only 2 blocks long. Um, this thing should only be 2 blocks long. It is ever so slightly larger, mostly to fit with the scale of a Minecraft player. It'd be a very small model if it wasn't. But for stuff like that, like I try to get also this as accurate as I can. Anything that isn't a vehicle, I guess, I'm a lot more lenient on. So the lampposts are just custom. Usually I like to walk around in person and then take notes like, oh, this lamp looks like it's about like 4.5 meters tall. I think this is 5. It's close to 5 meters tall. So I like to walk around and just, oh, like, oh, this light looks like it's about 5 blocks tall ish. So then I scale it properly in the game, and yeah, 5 blocks tall. Um, Stuff like that is custom. More important things like this, the peace fountain. I This is not done off of any drawing. I found a model of the peace fountain online. I think it was on Sketchfab or something. Um, I wanted this to be as accurate as possible. This isn't an extremely detailed model either. Is very simplified. Like you can look through and you can see like, oh, these are all just flat planes. This entire thing is just made up of flat planes. Um, like you can look on the side, like this. I think is there a block here? No. Like yeah, there's no depth to that at all. So things like this, it looks very complex, but it is still simplified. One, just so that it's easier to model, but two, these things can be very impacting on performance of the game. So like if I were to do all of these three-dimensionally, that just adds extra, they call it elements in the model. So each of these like rings right here, one ring is one element because it's a flat texture. If I were to turn that 3D, that brings it up to, I think you'd have it optimized three element, no, four elements per ring. So that's like, I don't know how many rings are on this, but let's just say like times 50 rings or something. 50 times 4, that's 200 elements. 150 added. So these models really impact the game's performance, which is another reason why I simplify these a lot. But also, just I like the Minecraft style. It fits the game pretty well. You might not be seeing something this in the game, but like the lamppost at least, it fits the style of the game, the blocky style for the most part. Um, what's another model? Signs. How I do these, I do pixel arts of the signs first. So the meteor was made as a pixel art and then extruded out into a 3D model. The signs are the only exception because I want these to be three-dimensional. You're gonna be up close to these, you're gonna see like, oh, look, it's actually there, like it's physically there. Versus something like the peace fountain where the 2D element, the flat planes, like you're not gonna notice that at first. Like you're gonna have to go up real close to it to realize like, oh, that's how that's done. Yikes. Um, But yeah, for these, everything is 3D on the signs. The Moxie is my favorite. This looks really cool. I like this a lot. Um, these things can also glow at night. Not to brag, but like I did that. But yeah, the signs are 3D physically. It does add extra elements, but there's not nearly like these are not nearly big enough to cause any impact. At least not with my computer. Um, but I mean, yeah. So those are models. Building, I just build off the outlines and try to make it look like the real thing as best as I can. Um, I mean, that's it. Like I just compare how it looks in pictures or pictures that I take. I usually like to go around taking reference pictures. I had a lot of pictures of this whole place, every angle pretty much. I like to go off of reference pictures a lot. Google Maps Street View usually is a savior as well. Stuff like this is more difficult because MLK is right here and it's like all the way over there is also out of date, so I couldn't really do that. Sweet Green didn't even exist yet. Um, but yeah, I like to go off of reference pictures a lot and just compare like, does this look like the real thing? If I go here in person, is this view going to be similar? The answers should be yes by the end result. Um, I mean, Old Main, like you go to Old Main. If I set my FOV to normal, then like this is accurate. It looks like the size of it seems right. The actual look of it, like some parts of it might be weird, like the three windows up there. I don't even remember what the real one looks like, but I believe the three windows in person are closer to each other. But I had to kind of you can't really do that in Minecraft because it's 5 blocks wide. So little things like that, it's not very noticeable. But like this looks like the real thing. I mean, that's Old Main. Volwalker as well. Volwalker also turned out pretty good. I'm not a big fan of how this turned out. This can be so much better, and I'm definitely gonna redo it in the future. It's kind of just a rush thing. Like I want to get this done. Like I'm doing the Peace Fountain. I should have this done. But yeah, I'm gonna redo that in the future. But Volwalker, it's a simple building. Like you compare actual pictures to it, and it looks like the real thing. Um, so really just comparing pictures, what I really do. Um, and like that's it. I mean, just compare pictures. um, get it as accurate as possible in terms of looks. Trees, I go lazy on the trees. For these bigger ones, I like to just use a sphere tool and just start painting all over. I do outline the boundary of the trees, so all these are outline. So not very the height total height of the tree is accurate to the map, but everything else just it's just within the boundary of what it takes up in person. um but yeah, I usually like to use sphere tools for that. These smaller trees are all very similarly built, and I'll just build the leaves on top of the branches that I have, also height accurate on the top. That's how trees are done. I do not like doing trees at all. I'll whatever lazy route exists, which I did find a good one, that's gonna be the route I take for the trees. That's pretty much everything. I mean, that's how everything is done. It may sound very complicated, and the average person isn't gonna be able to do something like this. But for me, it's just become like muscle memory at this point. Like I know the process, I know the 3D modeling. I can do the pixel art pretty fast now for the signs. I think I did the love sign at Crystal Bridges in like 5 minutes, I think. Um, it's a really easy process for me. The difficult part is just finding the time to do it. I'm an architecture student. I have lots of work to do outside of this. Um, Something like Old Main took me around like 3 to 4 hours to work on total. I think based off the replay footage, it does not take that long to do anything in this project at all. This is just a really casual video. It's me chilling, talking. Um, a lot of you have asked me in the past, like, how do you do this? How is this done? Like, how long does this take? Oh, like 30 seconds. But um, that's that. if you guys want to see more casual stuff like this in the future, where I'm just chilling, talking, let me know. Comment, message me, whatever means of communication you have with me, let me know. Um, but yeah, that's it. Happy almost New Year's. Happy finals week, everybody. Good luck on that. Goodbye.